Hello, everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of Inspired Action, where we dive into the most pressing leadership challenges and hope to inspire you to take a more coach-centered and people-focused approach to leadership. I'm your host, Kyle Pertuis, and it's time to get started with our three amazing guests for today. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inspired Action. I'm your host, Kyle Pertuis, and I'm here with three more amazing guests today to answer this question. How do your personal values influence your leadership approach and interactions? But first, I want to do a quick intro to these three amazing people. First and foremost, Rachel Emery. Rachel is a graduate of Le Cordon Bleu Culinary Academy, a Cooper certified personal trainer and serial entrepreneur. She is the owner of Blanco Brew and the Ripple Effect Yoga, Pilates, and Wellness Studio, and a personal chef right here in beautiful Wimberley, Texas. Rachel, thanks for coming on. Dane Boyle, founder and owner of Dane Boyle Coaching. He is a life and fitness coach helping Gen Xers reclaim their energy, confidence, and purpose. Dane helps midlife go-getters break free from limitations, level up their mindset, and create a life they love. His work is rooted in health mindset and personal growth, guiding people to take intentional action and step fully into their power. And if you don't believe what I just said, just follow him around for a day with his 80-pound ruck. Matt Wenzel, out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. This guy's an experienced construction professional, over 15 years of experience in the industry, working all over the world in roles from superintendent to senior operations manager, leveraging his past experiences in the field, now managing over $750 million to work with all facets of Rockford construction, now in risk mitigation. But most importantly, and I love that you added this, especially with this topic, most importantly, a father and husband first. So I can't wait to hear from each of you guys. Let's get started. Rachel, we are going to kick things off with you. So how would you answer this question? How do your personal values influence your leadership approach and interactions?
So opening up the coffee shop was actually my very first big business ownership for me, big business ownership experience, knowing that I was going to have a legitimate team of people that I was to lead. And I had to take a big step back and really think about, what was the leader that I wanted when I was in, a subordinate position working for other restaurants over the course of my culinary career. And I had to think, I was like, I've had a lot of really bad experiences. Anyone who's worked in food service can probably attest to some pretty traumatic experiences in the industry and a lot of really just dehumanizing treatment. And so I thought, I want to be the leader that I never had. So, approaching it with more compassion and, God forbid, a little bit of patience. We work with the public and patience is required. And sometimes we kind of lose our patience with our subordinates and with our colleagues. So, giving them a chance to speak and just listen with my heart and be very slow to respond. And especially in a tense situation, if there's a conflict happening between employees or, God forbid, a conflict between me and an employee, take a minute, take a breath. Don't respond with emotion right away. Try to check emotion. I know that's really hard for most of us to do because we are emotional creatures, especially us women. So I'm, speaking to the women in the crowd. We are emotional creatures. And sometimes it's very hard to take a big step back and look at something objectively and be like, okay, what are the facts here? Where's the documentation? What actually happened? And then understanding how to communicate with all the different personalities on the team. So trying to do a little bit of very basic personality profiling and learning how one person receives information is not the same way that another person does. Great example, my general manager and he's been with me almost since day one. We're coming up on 6 years that he just had his 6-year anniversary working for me. He and I can speak like man to man. Okay. It's very direct. It's very simple. There's no emotion. Boom. My bakery manager, not the same approach at all. She's a very anxious person. She's never in trouble, but she always thinks she's in trouble. So she'll come to me and she'll be like, are you mad at me? I'm like, no, ma'am, I'm not. Tell me what's going on. So just learning to give space to people and being patient and giving grace when needed. And unfortunately, we all do require a lot of grace, myself included. And I try to lead as a place of just being a human alongside all of my people. I make mistakes too. And the more that I can own my own mistakes in front of my team, the more trust I build with them. I'm just as much a human as they are. So when mistakes do happen, they're not afraid to come to me and talk to me about it. Because when it comes down to it, this is just a bakery and a coffee shop. You know, you burn the cake, it's sugar and flour. It's okay.
Start
Take a
over.
breath. Yeah, take a breath, dump it,
I
restart.
I love patience as a core value. And I would just have to, I mean, from my own perspective, we do a lot of work around values. That is not something that I think always kind